today's job, I'm cleaning up this yard. You can see this driveway is pretty grassy. Lots of tree limbs down. It gets better, don't worry. All this stuff's got to be cleaned up. Taking out all this stuff in the front of the house. Hard to see, it's not the best. It's not the best time to do this right in the morning sunshine, but anyways, you'll get an idea of what I'm up against on this job. So this area is kind of unique because I think whoever lived here, it's an older family member of this, that the people hired me to clean this yard up, and I think whoever lived here didn't do anything, like literally didn't do anything to the yard for a long time. So this part of the driveway right here, it's like 3 or 4 inches of leaves. They've raked some of it back, but I got to get all that cleaned off of the driveway so they can get down to the stone. Basically, I'm just getting it cleaned up so they can sell this house. So anyways, but here's what the yard looks like. All this stuff cleaned up here. So, but here you can see these leaves, how thick they are. Maybe not 3, yeah, it's pretty thick. It's just like a layer of dirt. But this all has crushed limestone. There's a pile of something there, I don't know. But all this brush here I got it cleaned up along this fence. Here's the deck. You can see how it's just rotting through, but they're not replacing this, and I'm not removing it. I'm just getting all the debris off of it. You can kind of see the roof there. You see the gutters. There you go. There's that roof there. All the leaves here. Here's a part of the yard that's pretty overgrown. This is going to be the most work, is in the back. Giant yew bushes here are coming out. There's some big bushes over there. But I got to go through all this. All right, here we go. And whoever was maintaining this, they kept the yard clean, like the middle of it, but all along the edges is all overgrown. So you can see all these big bushes. They're all over the gutters. See them up in the gutters there. But all this stuff, I'm gonna cut these low branches on this tree here. All that has got to be mowed down. Thankfully the yard's not too bad, the middle of the yard. There's a barn back here. I'm not sure if they're going to tear that down or not. But I got to get all that off of there. That's what I'm working on today. I quoted the customer 2 days on this job. So anyways, I'm gonna get going. Thanks for watching. Here's something interesting I've never seen before. So this railroad tie, which is on the edge of the driveway, you can see it continues along there to keep the stone in place. There's actually, the tree actually grew over it. You can see it. You can see it there, underneath this big sycamore tree. So I think the sycamore tree won on that one. So I'm just gonna cut it. I'm just gonna cut it off right there, and that way it's not sticking up and doesn't look so bad. bottle jack.
Do you have it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will one by one we take it open.
Okay.
Can you give me please?
Yeah.
Thank you. You ready?
How you gonna get it out there? Up the back end and up the machine?
Much better.
Push it overboard. Saw there, the customer that I'm clearing this house for, whoever lived here had that old sports car, Alfa Romeo. I don't know anything about cars, but it was about 40-year-old car. It's been sitting here since 1982. That was the license plate, said 1982. It's just been sitting in here in this garage. But this guy came from California to get it to somebody who was going to restore it, and I'm not really sure how he was going to get that out of the garage all the way to the street. This is a busy street too in Indianapolis, so it's kind of I was just helping just so I could keep going on my job. Anyways, that guy had a lot of enthusiasm for it, but I thought, how in the world were you gonna get that out there if I wasn't sitting here with my machine? I'm guessing he would have figured out a way, but anyways, that was fun. Never done that before. All right, I'm gonna go back to scraping up dirt. I figured 2 days on it, so I'm gonna be right on the money there. I stayed later yesterday because I had to get that car out of here for that guy, and then the customers had added this. I didn't have that on the original estimate. They had added clearing all the trash out of this garage, so that's what I'm gonna finish up today, and then get the stumps ground out from those trees and bushes I removed yesterday, and then get this driveway power raked. I got all that. There was I probably scraped 4 or 5 cubic yards of debris off this driveway to get down to the stone. So got this job all cleaned up. Got that fence cleared down the back there. Got that driveway all nice and clean looking. This yard hasn't been touched in a long time, so it's good to go now. Anyways, clean this up back here. I think eventually that shed's gonna have to go. It's got a big hole in the roof, but that wasn't on the docket for today, so. Got those big trees, those are all gone. Got this deck cleaned off. Cleaned up. All those sticks and stuff in the gutters. And all these big bushes over here. Got that front weed whacked. I'll probably have poison ivy all over me, but that's okay. Got the job done, so that's good. Anyways, pretty good job. 2 days. Customers satisfied. They were happy. Wrote me a check. So hey, that's a good deal right there. Driveway's all nice and clean and power raked and compacted. Good to go. Thanks for watching.